All right, all right. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in, and likely congratulations if you have gotten to week 16 start sit show. It means you've listened to the IDP show. You've gone to the IDPshow.com and dug into the dynasty ranks, the waiver articles, the start sit tool, and you're probably, hopefully, in your semis of your playoffs this weekend. So, congrats. Welcome in. Glad to have you. If you're new to the show, welcome. This is just kind of a little Q&A session, a little start sit show that we do during the playoffs. Like it says here on the screen, send any questions you have. We'll try to get them answered. I'm open to any and all questions. If you got trade questions for next year, if you've got some roster construction stuff that you want us to dig into, if you have some start sit decisions that you're trying to make for this weekend, by all means, throw them into the comments. I will get to them as quickly and as in-depth and as thorough as I can. If it's not something that I'm able to answer in the time that we've got allotted this morning, the Start Sit tool is still active on the website. Again, the IDPshow.com. If you're new, dig in there. There's all kinds of good nuggets, information, player information, statistics, intel, ranks, the best in the biz. So with no further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it. Like I said, throw these comments in here and I'll get to them just as quickly as I can. So Rant here, need 1 3-point per tackle and 15 points per sack. Okay, so M. Moore or Malik Mustafa. Man, Moore's usage has been really, really good lately, which probably leads me to probably skew Moore here. Let's pull him up here and see what the log looks like for him. Yeah, that's a really tricky question off the jump. Malik Mustafa, does he have the potential upside for sacks? I feel like maybe he does a little bit. Man, so maybe in that roster setup, I would probably lean more if you're probably a lock to win, give me the points and more. If for some reason you need a dart throw, 15 points per sack for your safety, Mustafa doesn't have any sacks on the year. Gosh, maybe I lean Mustafa both ways. Mustafa's been really good here lately. At Indianapolis, I'm not even sure right now who's going to start. I'm assuming it's probably still P. Rivers, but it could be Anthony Richardson playing time as well too. So probably Mustafa either way, even though Moore has been playing really good. Really tough question from the jump. So appreciate that one. One of my faves here, Ruguru. Morning, fam. On to the semis. Appreciate all the advice this year and in the past. The IDP show is the best in the biz right here. So, Ruguru, glad to have you, buddy. And you're throwing a question in. I lost Parsons. Pour one out. I have a little cup of coffee for it. I don't know if you can read it. It might inverse it because of the camera. Embrace the mess. That's the motto for week 16. A lot of mess going on both sides of the ball, so just embrace it. Josh Sweat or Yaya Diaby this week? Ruguru, what are you doing sending me this question this early on? So Josh Sweat this weekend has Atlanta. So, man, that's a potential upside as well. Yaya has come on as of late and has some decent games that he's stacked up. He's 2 weeks out of a sack, but he did have a sack against the Rams in week 12 and in week 13 and then gets Carolina this week. Let's go Josh Sweat. I've hated on him too much this year, and Yaya has been a little bit too much up and down. Josh Sweat deserves a little bit more credit than we're giving him so far in 2025. So, Josh Sweat, let's get home this weekend. Ruguru, appreciate you, buddy. Gemini Earth Snake. So, 2DL, Jeffrey Simmons, Aiden Hutchinson, James Pierce, 1LB, Singleton, Quincy Williams, and then 1DB, Jordan Battle, Nick Cross, Tyson Campbell, 2 flex for the remaining. The 2DL, I'm pretty clearly going Aiden Hutchinson and James Pierce. Those guys have been too hot. They have been just on fire. 2 guys that I'm not putting on my bench in week 16. Alex Singleton is who you're going to start over Quincy Williams. I still want Singleton's production there. I still want the safe tackle floor, even though Quincy Williams might give you a little safer, a little bit more upside potentially. And then I think even Singleton's got a nice little matchup with Jacksonville this week. So Singleton for sure. And then 1DB, I'm going Jordan Battle. He's been playing really, really good lately. The production has been really, really solid. And then so the 2 remaining, It just depends on what you need. Again, like I'm saying, if this is a big play league, and if this is if this is some if you need points, I'm going to go Nick Cross and probably Quincy Williams. Now, if you're reaching for upside, I would probably go Simmons and Cross, but it's close for me. I mean, again, like I said, it's going to be dependent. Are you tackle heavy? Are you big play? But the guys that I mentioned, Aiden, Pierce, Singleton, Battle, those are the ones that are pretty locked. And then I'm okay to pick from Jeffrey Simmons, Quincy Williams, and Nick Cross for those last two. Toss up, whatever you feel like you're kind of rolling out this week as far as what you need. If you need points, you kind of know where to go there. So appreciate the question. Higher learning, Riley Moss or Adebo? Man, y'all are throwing too many early DB questions at me. Riley Moss, let's pull up their production real quick. So 100% of snaps last week, 4 tackles. Really, that's kind of what you're getting so far from what it seems like from Riley Moss. You're getting you're going to get you a couple tackles, and that's pretty much it. Paulson Adebo has the higher upside. He's playing Minnesota this week. I'm going Paulson Adebo pretty clearly. Riley Moss doesn't really have that upside. Paulson Adebo has the potential to get you a double-digit tackle week, especially this week, as I think Minnesota's probably going to throw the ball a little bit. I lean Adebo, but it's a little closer. But yeah, no, actually, it's not close at all. It's Paulson Adebo. Appreciate that question. Ruguru back in here. PJ Locke has upside this week. Play him or Petre. I know Petre has been better as of late. I know he has kind of actually I take that back. Yeah, 3, 6, 4 tackles the last couple weeks. Is playing Las Vegas this week, so maybe has the potential for a decent little high upside play. Let's pull up PJ Locke and look up a name that I don't really dig into that much, to be honest with you. Yeah, PJ Locke on 48% of snaps last week, 0 tackles. I'm not shooting too crazy in week 16. I'm loading down Petre and gonna stick with it. I don't really want to chase the upside for Locke on the minimal playing time this week. So yeah, again, it's kind of similar to the way I like to start the season. You start the season and you want to start the guys that you know are going to get production, the guys that you're the vets. You don't really want to roll out the rookies right now. Kind of the same right now. I know there's a lot of injuries. I know there's a lot of linebacker ambiguity, even with the defensive line and DBs as well. But by and large, start who you know is going to be pretty productive in week 16. I wouldn't skew away from that. Let's see here. Robert, 0.5, tight end premium, flex 1, Breece Hall, Coker, or Gadsden. I know Coker has scored. I know he scored last week. Has he scored much prior to that? I know he seems to be a little bit of a hit and miss. So 2 pretty decent weeks back to back, even though the bye was in week 14. So 4 for 60, 4 for 74, touchdown in both of those games and at Tampa Bay. So that's a nice little upside play. I also think maybe Tet is banged up right now too. Y'all might have to let me know in the comments whether that's accurate or not. So I'm not sure whether he's a locked play. Breece Hall at New Orleans this week, so a pretty plush matchup. But, man, hasn't gone over 100 yards on the ground since week 8. Just a bunch of pretty boring games. He did score on the ground in week 13. He also catches 2 to 4 balls a week and has the potential for kind of, blowing a game up. And at New Orleans this week, that's a pretty decent little setup. I do know from managing Gadsden here lately, I have him in the XFL. He has been kind of unstartable lately, to be honest with you. 4 for 61 last week, but prior to that, 1 for 7, 1 for 27, 2 for 41, 3 for 13. I do know that the big wide receiver, QJ, I think is probably out this week. Oh, me. And Dallas over-under is probably going to be pretty high, even though I think Dallas is out of the playoffs. That's tricky. That's really tricky. Tight end premium, 0.5 PPR. Man, I really want to get that one right for you. Probably Breece Hall is going to have the safer floor. Now, Gadsden or Coker, are definitely going to have the higher ceiling, I feel like. Coker, they still need to win. Gadsden, they still need to win as well. I'm going to say Brees Hall, if you're a lock to probably win the game, if you're, if you're the favorite, I would probably go Brees Hall, and then I would probably go Coker, then Gadsden, just because even though Gadsden had a good game last week, there is a little bit of ambiguity the couple weeks before that. Just, one catch is, you don't want to get caught with a 1-for-7 yards in week 16. So Brees Hall, Coker, Gadsden, pretty much how you have them written. Sorry, I won't take all that much time on every single question, but sometimes the offensive ones are a little bit of doozies here. So, all right, Malachi Moore or Xavier Watts. Let's see. Xavier Watts has played pretty decent here lately, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, 7 tackles last week against Tampa Bay. Pretty decent snap share. I'm probably going Malachi Moore because we pretty much know that Malachi Moore is going to get the playing time and he's going to get pretty decent tackles. Yeah, at New Orleans this week, the last couple weeks on what I'm going to call 100% snap share, 9, 7, and 10 tackles over the last 3 weeks. So I like Xavier Watts. He does have that big play potential, but I'm still going Malachi Moore for the safe points in week 16. All right, hello, Travis. Hello, man. Welcome in. Start 1, please. Overshown, Singleton, or Bethune? I'm going to go Singleton pretty clearly here. I know Overshown is back. I know that everybody is just wanting that production prior to his injury in 2024. 7, 7, 6 tackles over the last couple weeks. It does look like the playing time is kind of ramping up. But Singleton is just not anybody that I'm going to skew away from in week 16. Yeah, very similar situation. We know what we've got with Singleton. There's no injury risk of re-injury middle of the game. He gets hurt and goes out with Overshown. Bethune, kind of the same situation. I know Bethune is back. There's a lot of questions that I have had with people, throwing them in my DMs about, man, would you go Tatum Bethune or Barrett Carter this week? I know Bethune is back. I know supposedly they're going to roll him out this week, but it's nothing that I want to trust in week 16. We can trust Alex Singleton. If you want to maybe throw a dart at Overshown just because you like the matchup, I'm okay with it, but I'm still going Singleton, then Overshown, then Bethune. Bethune honestly could have the better game, but I just would hate to get caught with some weird usage in week 16 with the linebackers there in San Francisco, and Bethune ends up with 4 points for you. You're going to feel pretty stupid. So, yeah, best of luck again. Trent, Sherwood, Singleton, or Eric Wilson? All right, so we have looked at the playing time for some of these other guys. Let's pull up Sherwood real quick. So Jamian, last couple weeks, pretty fancy. 100% of snaps pretty much all season. Has a 69% snap game in week 8 prior to the bye. But since the bye, 6 games, 100% of snaps, 8, 15, 4, 13, 8, and 6. So really, really good snaps there. Now, I will say, the IDP show, myself, Adam, Josh, big fans of that linebacking core up there in Minnesota. Eric Wilson has played really, really good ball so far in 2026. Let me see if I can actually spell his name right so that I can get his log pulled up. Eric Wilson, last couple weeks, 97, 100, 99% of snaps. He does have the sack upside. So this is my answer. It's pretty clearly Sherwood for me. I think that's a nice setup this week. He's playing really good. He's being really productive. Let's go Sherwood. If you need a big play, if you're an underdog and this is a big play, if this is a big 3 scoring, if this is a big play league, I'm going to go Eric Wilson, honestly, because this week against the Giants, he does have that sack upside. He had a sack in week 14. He had a sack in week 13. So depending on your scoring, depending on what you need, are you the favorite or are you the underdog? If you're the favorite, go Sherwood. If you're the underdog, go Eric Wilson. Man, get you a dub this week. Higher learning back here. Trust Jack Gibbons. He might have the role this week and possibly next week. Yeah, I brought him up on the podcast this week just because the production was really, really good in the absence of somebody who was out there. I know there was the emergency linebacker, weirdness this last week. Man, I don't know that I'm going to trust it this week. He could have a little bit of a role, but prior to 100% of snaps this last week, 51, 32, 51% of snaps. It might look a little bit weird, though, this week. Let's see. I can't remember. Y'all are going to have to let me know. There was an emergency kind of linebacker list there in New England. Somebody got pulled at the last minute, one of the Ellis boys. So I don't know that Gibbons is going to see the stats that we saw last week. It's probably not anything that I'm going to trust in week 16. So if that's all you got, I understand, but surely you've got a little bit of a better option there in week 16. All right, Travis back here. Is Chase Young a good replacement for James Pierce if he's out? Absolutely. Again, another guy just like Jack Gibbons that we talked about on the episode last week of the main show. We talked about how Chase Young is just having a really, really good year. Chase Young, a guy that I have historically crapped on in his career, gets the Jets this week. He's getting 75% of the snaps the last couple weeks. So absolutely, if James Pierce is out, I could see just Chase Young getting a 75% snap share, getting you 4 tackles, and maybe falling into the quarterback once or twice this week. So it's a weird world that we're living in, but in week 16, yes, Chase Young is absolutely a good play for you in week 16. All right, Rougarou back here. Shout out Cooper DeJean. Always shout out Cooper DeJean. 5 tackles, 4 PDs, and an interception. He put me in the lead with 21 points. Yeah, Cooper DeJean, just a stalwart here at the IDP show if you've been a fan for a while. So good start there for you, Rougarou. All right, higher learning back here. Bucs defense or New Orleans or the Chargers, 2.5 points for 3 and outs, 4 points for 4 and outs, etc. Let's look at and see who some of these teams have this week. I'm probably skewing away from the Bucs this week because oddly enough, the Panthers at home, I don't know. I don't know that that's a matchup that I really want to trust this week. So you're also saying Bucs defense or New Orleans or the Chargers. Okay, I know the Chargers have Dallas. I'm probably not going the Chargers either. New Orleans is at home, and they have the Jets. That's probably where I'm going. I don't like the over-under that's going to come from the over-under for the Bucs-Panthers game right now is at 45. The over-under for the Jets-Saints is only at 40. And then let's see the over-under right now for the Chargers game. Yeah, it's at 50 and a half. So just because of the over-under, just because the New Orleans Saints get to play a game at home, let's roll with that one this week. All right, McKillen, Big 3 scoring. Man, good for you. More people should play Big 3 scoring. 2 LB spots and a flex needed. Carson Swessinger, Roquan Smith, Zaire Franklin, Tevin White, James Pierce, Dallas Turner. What are you going to do to me? Oh, my gosh. First thing that goes off in my head is Jonathan Grenard. Let's pull up Grenard and see. All right, so he's gone to IR, so it's official. We have no Grenard, and we're going to get full playing time from Dallas Turner. This is a what do you need type of question. Are you the favorite? I'm assuming you are. I'm assuming this is not your trip to the IDP show if these are the names that you're throwing me in week 16. This is an embarrassment of riches. If you're the favorite by far, if you're out there, you just need the points. I'm probably going just in line. I'm going Swessinger. I'm going Roquan. Zaire has been better as of late. I'll give him credit for that. But there is the potential for a goose egg in there. Not a goose egg, but just a turd of a game. Devin White's been really good, but I'm not trusting Devin White over Roquan and Swessinger right now. Those are the two players that I know are locked and loaded for me. Now, I will say, Big 3 scoring, let's just say you're an underdog right now. Let's say this is a mixed league, and the guy you're playing had Matt Stafford and Puka Nacua. I could see a world where you would want to throw Dallas Turner in there because the Vikings get the Giants this week. I know it's in New York, but Dallas Turner is going to get that 80% of playing time. And let's look and see. Let's pull up my boy DT. And I say my boy because he is on my XFL roster, even though Adam is a lover. So some weeks where he got some pretty good snap share. Week 11, 89% of snaps, 7 tackles, 1 sack. Week 12, what did I just say? Week 11. Yeah, week 12, 58% of snaps, 3 tackles, 1 sack. Week 13, 70% of snaps, 5 tackles, 2 sacks, 2 forced fumbles. Man, Dallas Turner's going to be fun this week. If you've got the stones to roll him out, if you're an underdog, I'm okay with rolling Dallas Turner out over maybe a Schlesinger and then lock in Roquan Smith. But if you're the favorite, if you just need the points, I'd go Schlesinger, go Roquan. Don't overthink it this week. Rougarou, Ted had a foot, ankle, but logged full practice Thursday, took every snap. So appreciate you for filling me in on that one. Also, Leggett has just disappeared so far this season, hasn't he? I had those couple little pop games mid-year, and Coker, I need Coker to be a thing long term. Hi, Bobby. Hello, Rich. Needing some help here in high tackle sack scoring. 2 of either Hamilton, Cross, Morig, Mustafa, Williams, or more. Thanks for all your great content this year. And to all of you guys, 2 of either. Man, a lot of good names we've already talked about here. I don't really think you can go too crazy here. Kyle Hamilton is probably a name that we just want to lock and load into our roster. You know, he is carrying a questionable tag, which is a little bit frustrating. Trending towards playing against the Patriots for an ankle. Man, put a pin in that one. Nick Cross has been really good so far this year. Morik has been good. Mustafa has been good of late. I like Malachi Moore a lot too. Oh, geez. This is a really tough one. You're going to get points from pretty much all of these guys. It just depends on who is going to be the one to get you the safer points. I'm probably going Nick Cross is going to be one of those names in there that I lock in just because 100% of snaps here lately and has been playing really, really good ball so far this year. Trayvon Morig, 100% of snaps in week 15, saw 5 tackles this last week. Carolina is going to get New Orleans. So keep an eye on Hamilton. If it looks like Hamilton's going to play, I probably want to still roll Hamilton out and then Cross. But pretty much how you have it written there is how I would want to roll these guys out. If for some reason you don't feel like Hamilton is a lock to get you the points this week, then I would be okay with you going Cross and Morig if that's what you feel like doing. Mustafa is going to play decent as well. Moore is probably a little bit on the lower upside, same kind of down there with Williams also. But that's pretty much how you have it written. But stay on Twitter. Keep an eye on Kyle Hamilton. Make sure that he's going to get the start for you this week. You'd hate to have a goose egg starting in week 16. So Ultimate Warrior, Sherwood, Caden Ellis, or Nick Cross. So just pulled up the log on Nick Cross, and it's fine. But let's pull up Caden Ellis real quick right here and just see what he has done recently. Played 100% of snaps ever since the bye in week 5. We just kind of know what we've got there with Caden Ellis. If you need one, it's by far Sherwood. If you need 2, it's Sherwood, and then it's Caden Ellis. I'm probably not starting Nick Cross. Maybe I would start Nick Cross over Caden Ellis if I needed a bigger play this week. But Sherwood, by far and away, the one that I'd start out of those 3. Tyke Smith or Buda Baker. Man, why do you do this to me? I need more DB help. Where's Jake at? Where's Jeff when I need him? Tyke Smith here, last couple weeks, a little bit down. Pretty decent snaps these last couple weeks. Let's see here. Neck and shoulder, I forgot he went out last week. Yeah, so 53% of snaps in week 14. Hasn't been great. I mean, I'm never gonna tell you to fade Tyke Smith. We've already seen the potential that guy has, but Buda Baker has been really good. Gets Atlanta this week. I'm probably going Buda Baker, to be honest with you. There's a little bit of weirdness with that injury with Tyke Smith, even though there is a chance that Tyke Smith goes off on your bench. I think there's also less likelihood that Buda Baker puts you up a 0 this week 16. So roll out Tyke if you're feeling spicy, but I know that I'd be rolling out Buda Baker this week. Greenlaw or Gibbons with Spillane out. Man, Gibbons played really, really good last week. It's probably Gibbons because Greenlaw has not done a lot lately, I don't believe. Yeah, I mean, the big play department for Greenlaw has not been what it was. He's only playing 60 to 70% of snaps. So with Spillane out, I'm going to go Gibbons. That sounds gross. It sounds like here you're big play scoring. So you could do worse than rolling out Jack Gibbons in week 16. Best of luck to you. All right, same question as earlier. Buddha, Tyke playing this week? Question mark. Yeah, plug into that and see. See if Tyke's going to get the start. I still think I would probably roll Buddha out. Just seems less likely that Buddha's going to get me a 0 than Tyke is. All right, I'm going to kind of quick answer these next couple because I got to catch up. I'm already a little bit behind. Morning, bro. Bethune, Alshire, Terrell Bernard, Barrett Carter. It's not Bethune, I can tell you that. I'm not going to get caught with some weirdness this week of all of a sudden Bethune not seeing the playing time. Now, keep in mind, Aziz Al-Shair is carrying a questionable tag this week. It does look like he's going to play, I believe, that week 16. And Al-Shair's been great. Last week, 100% of snaps, 12 tackles. Let's pull up Terrell Bernard real quick. Terrell Bernard this last week. Oh, man, I forgot he has not been playing. Oh, booger. It looks like he is off the injury report for week 16 and is going to be playing. Close the week with a full practice. He'll be a full go for the Bills. Alshire if he plays. I'm not trusting Bethune right now. It is scary to trust Terrell Bernard because Barrett Carter has been kind of gross lately. So I'm going to go Aziz Alshire if he plays. Terrell Bernard, hopefully they roll 100% snap share out for Bernard. Barrett Carter, and then Bethune. That's a tough one. Sherwood, 100% of snaps, a lot of tackles, minimum points for some reason. Yeah, Sherwood will be fine. It was Spillane. Okay, there we go. He got pulled. Appreciate you for filling me in on that one. Jack Sawyer starting this week. Should I roll with him over Bryce Huff or Mike Green? Huff has done not a lot. I mean, just not a lot at all. Let's see here. Doesn't have a sack since the bye. So the answer is not Huff. I don't care that he is playing Indianapolis. I could care less about that. Now, Mike Green has been playing pretty decent lately. Has a couple sacks in a couple of the recent games. Does get to play Drake May this weekend. He has 3.5 sacks since the bye in week 7. I'm going to go Mike Green. I would love to say Jack Sawyer because I do think he's going to have a little bit of role there in that defense, but Mike Green is what we are going to know in week 16, so that's who I'm going to roll out. Tyke Smith, Dane Belton, or Nick Cross. I know Nick Cross is probably going to be my answer, but let's rule out Dane Belton real quick. Minnesota this week. Gosh, it could be Dane Belton. Let's go Dane Belton. Then it's going to be Nick Cross. Then I'm going to go Tyke Smith. Don't be mad if Tyke Smith has a good game on your bench. I think there's a possibility that happens. But man, with the injury, that's kind of weird. I would just hate for a re-injury in game, and then all of a sudden you get him pulled, and then he doesn't get you any more points. So Belton, Cross, then Tyke. Hunter or Turner? Dallas Turner. Let's have fun. It's week 16. Fernando. All right. Need help with 2 flex spots between Singleton, Barrett Carter, Mustafa, and Franklin. I'm not going Barrett Carter. I'm not going Mustafa. Let's go the linebackers. That's what we know here in week 16. We're going Singleton. We're going Franklin pretty clearly. Dallas Turner or Jeffrey Simmons? Oh, me. It's probably Dallas Turner. Let's pull up Jeffrey Simmons. Let's just roll it out. He's playing Kansas City this week, so he gets Gardner Minshew. If you need the floor game, if you need the safer play, go Jeffrey Simmons. If you need the potential 2-sack upside, go Dallas Turner. That's my answer. That's the right answer, too, and I can already tell you that. And it's only 9:29 Central Standard Time. Tyrell Dodson or Jermaine Pratt? Y'all are wearing me out this week. Golly, that's a just disgusting question. Probably Dodson. Pratt has been pretty gross here lately. Let's see here. Yep, it's Dodson. You're going to get 100% of snaps with Dodson. Jermaine Pratt's been whatever. Pretty clearly the answer there for me. Fresh Prince, pick 2 DBs, Tyke, Derwin, Hufunga, Chin, Morig, or Curl. So you can't play Curl because the Rams have already played. Let's see. Embarrassment of riches. All right. We're going Derwin. Gosh, I don't know. Probably Chin. Within Morig and Hufunga, a close third. But I think Chin's due for a big game, and Derwin is not anybody that I want to bench right now. Minus Curl, who already played. There you go. Digging the content. We appreciate you. Gemini Earth Snake. I'm trying to convince my commissioner to transition this year's redraft into a dynasty next year. Would you consider dropping Tyson Campbell for Malik Moore? Moore has been good. I don't know if that's a dynasty question. It's just you just kind of never know from one year to the next who's going to be good at DB. There's just a lot of ambiguity week in and week out, year in and year out is what I'm getting at. Tyson Campbell, 25 years old. No, not really. I would probably just ride Moore. Tyson Campbell's been fine, but I mean, he has not been. He's had some good games. But no big plays, no sacks. 2 forced fumbles, no fumble recoveries, only 1 INT, but he did score it so far this year. I'd probably skew Campbell maybe there. But Malik Moore has been a good player so far this year, but don't put a ton of investment into either of those guys, honestly. Pick 2 LB, Sherwood, Ellis, Swesinger, Cashman. Cashman's already played. I'm sorry, no, I'm thinking Landman. Franklin, Barton, looking for high floor with upside. Okay, so if you're looking floor, we're going Jamie and Sherwood. And then we're going Swesinger. Ellis, whatever. Cashman has been kind of a bummer. He's been fine, but he's been like 80% Cashman with Eric Wilson playing better. And then Zaire Franklin, it's nothing that I want to trust. He could have a good game. There's a potential for double-digit sacks, but I think the higher floor here is going to be with C-Swesh, and it's going to be with Sherwood. Pick 2 DBs, Morig, Cross, Winfield, Chin, and James. What in the world? Cross, Winfield. Cross, Winfield. No, maybe not. I forgot you have Chin and James. I don't know. This is just a toss-up. What do you need? Do you need points? Then roll out Cross and roll out probably Derwin James. Do you need upside? Then maybe roll out James and Winfield. That's tough. That's a tough question. I hope that answered it for you. Thanks for answering. Always appreciate you. Pick 2, James Pierce, Highsmith, Abdul Carter, or DeForest Buckner. Buckner's back this week. Pierce is carrying that questionable tag, so put a pin in that. Abdul Carter does look like he's coming on a little bit lately. Has a pretty good game in the last couple of weeks. Highsmith is going to get more PT this week, I would assume, with Herbig out. I'm going to go Highsmith, and I'm going to go Abdul Carter just because we don't know what the playing time is going to look like with DeForest Buckner. He's liable to play 100% of snaps, and he probably will. Maybe not 100. I mean, 100 for DeForest, 80, 90% of snaps. James Pierce, if he looks like he's a go, I would probably skew James Pierce over Abdul Carter. But that one's close. I don't want to goose egg in week 16. I want the players here that's gonna, with the potential to goose egg me the least amount. Man, it's not Buckner. It's probably Pierce and Carter. I know Highsmith and them. Highsmith is going to get the PT, but give me Pierce and Carter in that situation, even though it's really close. Rougarou again. No Hembig or Watt, so it's Queen and Who at LB. Probably, well, I mean, we just talked about that. So at LB2, even though Hembig or Watt, so Hembig or Watt's edge there. So we're going to get some playing time this week. Oh, I'll click to the next one. We are going to get some playing time this week out of Highsmith, and we're going to get some playing time out of Jack Sawyer, I would assume. So it's Queen. It's going to be Peyton Wilson at LB2. I'm not sure that question there, Ruger. You're throwing me for a loop. McKillen, need 2 DBs for big three scoring again. I'm neck and neck with another near super team. Congrats. All right. You didn't give me any. You're going to have to give me some. Spillane was out, and it's again for Gibbons. Yeah. Man, Gibbons in week 16. That's living life. Full PPR, start sit, Evans or Wilson. Evans. It's a win week. We need a win out of Mike Evans. That's who I'm rolling with. Pick 2, James Pierce, Khalil Mack, Alex Highsmith, DeForest Buckner, Abdul Carter. It's not Mack. It's not Buckner. I could be wrong there, but I don't want to get caught with weird playing time. And Mack has done nothing as of late. It's probably James Pierce and it's probably Abdul Carter for me, as gross as that sounds. Alex Highsmith and them do get the Lions. I feel like that offensive line is going to know we gotta shut down Alex Highsmith. We might get beat by Jack Sawyer, but we don't want to get beat by Alex Highsmith. So the answer is going to be Pierce and Abdul Carter for me. Need 2 DBs. This might be the finish to that question a minute ago. Let's see here. Neck and neck, top 2 teams: Tyke, Antoine, Cole, D. Alford, James Winfield with the dual designation, and Cedric Gray out. Let's see here. Probably, I'm not rolling out Tyke and Antoine Winfield. I do like Antoine Winfield in the setup this week. It might be a Cole Bishop week. Let's pull up Cole Bishop's log. Haven't pulled this up here lately. Cole Bishop is a lock for 6 tackles. That's pretty much what he's going to get you so far. So if you're needing the floor, I mean, I could see maybe just going Cole Bishop. Let's see D. Alford real quick. Let's see what the playing time has looked like for D. Ambiguous playing time. D. Alford is not going to be the answer here for me. Let's see. So the answer for me is going to be Antoine Winfield and Cole Bishop. Tyke Smith, man, if he plays, I could see starting Tyke and Antoine Winfield, but there is a potential for re-injury with Tyke Smith. So just know that going into it. Thomas got Burns and Garrett, 3rd DL. Do I go Rousseau or Dallas Turner? You go Dallas Turner. The answer is never Greg Rousseau. Tyke or Winfield? I'm going to go Winfield this week and then Tyke. Do you like Williams at LB in place of Gray, who's out with a concussion? Yeah, absolutely. I think you could do worse. Also, Bethune, Gibbons, Greenlaw, leaning Bethune, even though I don't like guys first game back. Absolutely. I'm going to go Gibbons, then I'll go Bethune, then I'll go Greenlaw. Greenlaw is just, he's not what he used to be. Thanks for the advice so far. Got one more pick 2. Barrett Carter, Servassier, Dennis, Devon Diablo, or James Williams. Man, that's gross. That's real gross. Let's see. Servassier is not going to be the answer. 71% of snaps last week, 2 tackles. Week before, 90% of the snaps, 10 tackles. Yeah, Servassier is just, he's not as good as we thought that he could potentially be a year or 2 ago. James Williams is not a guy that I'm going to roll out in week 16, even though, I mean, I did say it earlier in place of Gray. Probably Barrett Carter, then James Williams. Let's look up Diablo real quick. I forgot Diablo was in that question. I want to get these questions right for y'all this week. Yeah, Diablo's just been kind of mediocre at Arizona this week. He is getting 100% of playing time, but just isn't really doing much with it. So I'm probably going Carter. Honestly, then I'm probably going Diablo, and then I'll go Servassier and James Williams. If James Williams gets a bunch of playing time in week 16, that's great. He's liable to get you a bunch of tackles, but it's a risky play the week that you needed to count. Pick 2, Zaire, Roquan, Al-Shair. I'm going those first 2 because Shair is carrying that questionable tag. Have Burns and Garrett. Do I go Rousseau or Dallas Turner? Yeah, I think I already answered that one just a minute ago, but you definitely go DT. I'm not a fan of Rousseau. Pick 2 DBs, Tyke, Mustafa, Buda Baker, or James White. I'm going Buda. And then probably, if Tyke plays, I'll go Tyke and then Mustafa, but it's close for me. Pickens or Jennings? Thanks, good luck. Let's go Pickens. Pickens been quiet lately. He's been a little too quiet, it feels like. Also, has not been paid yet. So still, he wants to make a little money this offseason. Need to. Milano, Roseboom, Peyton Wilson, or Alex Singleton. Alex Singleton first, and then Peyton Wilson. Milano's been fine, but now with Bernard back, what's Milano going to look like? And Roseboom is never the answer. Let's shortly jump on offense. I'm fine to do that. Got a couple more minutes here. Deep league, 4 points per passing touchdown, pick one. I hate that. I hate 4 points per passing touchdown. I play in a 2 QB league. It's not super flex, it's 2 QB. And I have Bo Nix and I have CJ Stroud this week. And the 4 points for a passing touchdown, the 6 points for rushing is really annoying, to be honest with you. McCarthy, Shug, Cousins, Rodgers. Why are you sending me this question? McCarthy, I guess. And then Cousins. Yeah, they have Arizona this week, and then Shug and Rodgers. Rodgers probably third there for me. I don't know who Pittsburgh has today, but McCarthy and Cousins are the two that have the potential to have 2 passing touchdowns. I don't know that Aaron Rodgers has been great as of late. I mean, I know he hasn't been great all year. Great is a weird word. He's been fine at times. Yeah, he has 2 passing touchdowns last week, which was fine. He has 1 this week. Detroit's liable to eat him up, though. So, yeah, I would go McCarthy and then Cousins. Rugru, my bad. I'm looking for options at LB4. I'm waiting for Mac Wilson and already have Terrell Bernard, Holmes, Gibbons, Holcomb, Gibbons, Barf. Yeah, Mac Wilson hasn't been great lately either. Bernard's fine. Cole Holcomb, whatever. Gibbons, yeah, that's a tough situation there, Rugru. Sorry, pick 2. Pratt, Franklin, Alshair, Roquan. It's not Pratt, I'll tell you that. It's probably Franklin and Roquan, just because, like we talked about earlier, Alshair is carrying that questionable tag. Thanks for the help, brother. Nice Frisbees. Yes, just look away from all this. Look away. Last one, have Buddha and Winfield. Third DB has been Jesse Bates. Stick with Bates versus Arizona or go Malachi Moore. Yeah, I'm going Jesse Bates. Jesse Bates played really, really good ball here lately. Even though Malachi Moore is a really, really popular name right now, Bates is a locked and loaded. Would you play Dallas Turner over Abdul Carter? Absolutely, I would. Abdul Carter has had a couple of okay games, and he's liable to finally slowly start getting it together. But I really like the setup for Dallas Turner this week. We're going to get really, really solid playing time for him with Grenard going to IR. You've got the Giants this week. I know it is in New York, like we talked about earlier. I know that's going to be a fun little setup to where it's, DT versus Abdul Carter in the same game. But I'm going DT because we know what we know at this point with him. Start 1, Waller, Jeanty, Marks, or Diggs. Probably not Waller. I know he's been decent here lately, but I don't know. It just seems like a gross name to start in week 16. Jeanty's been bad here lately too. Marks or Diggs. I don't know. That's a tricky question right there. Maybe it is Waller. Waller's probably the safer bet. Jeanty has done nothing so far this year. Marks has been quiet, and I don't know that I'm relying on Diggs in week 16. So, yeah, roll out Waller is going to get you 7 points. Tim Slopper, thank you. Hey, you're welcome. Anytime. Tyke bounce back today? Yeah, potentially. Let's root for it. Let's root for a bounce back. Let's root to get the W with or without Tyke this week so that we can get 100% of Tyke, and then we can roll him out in the championship next week. Nick Benito and Daniil, or swap one with Christian Ellis in DL spot with Spillane out. No, I'm going Benito. I talked about him last week. Benito is just so slept on. Why are we not talking about him as like a top 5 edge right now in Dynasty? Roll out Benito. Daniil's been kind of weird. Don't do no swapping. We know what we've got with Benito. Last question I'm going to take. Danny. Hey, Merry Christmas. Same to you. We trust in Hamilton tonight as a Cedric Gray owner. I picked up James Williams, and I'm on sleeper, so I can have him in my DB spot to replace Hamilton, tackle heavy scoring. Yeah, keep up with that. See what's going to happen with Kyle Hamilton. We really want K-Ham to be rolled out. We want 100% K-Ham back. James Williams, just not a name that we want to trust in week 16. We do want to trust K-Ham. So Thank you all for jumping in here. We are 45 minutes in. We're at our hard stop here of 9:45. So if it's a question that I wasn't able to get to today, the IDPshow.com, waiver articles, start sit tool, dynasty ranks, podcast to listen to, dig in, get yourself a W here in week 16, and then come back to the week 17 start sit show for the championship. Let's get us some dubs. Let's get some hardware. Let's get some rings, some belts, some trophies, whatever your league does. Let's stack it up this week. Best of luck to you. Best of luck to Dallas Turner. Dallas Turner, that was a 25-point game in Big Three scoring. Can you do it for us? We believe in you. I believe in you all. Appreciate you.